In today's lecture, I'd like to talk about abstraction in visual art and why many artists choose not to represent reality exactly as it appears. At first, abstraction can seem confusing because viewers often expect paintings or sculptures to resemble real objects. However, abstraction allows artists to focus on ideas, emotions, or relationships rather than physical accuracy. For example, instead of painting a detailed landscape, an abstract artist might use shapes and colors to express how a place feels rather than how it looks. This approach encourages viewers to interpret the artwork personally, bringing their own experiences into the viewing process. As a result, two people may react very differently to the same abstract painting. Another reason artists use abstraction is that it frees them from traditional rules of perspective and proportion. By breaking these rules, artists can experiment more freely and explore new visual possibilities. Historically, abstraction became especially important in the early 20th century, when artists began questioning whether art needed to imitate the visible world at all. So rather than being incomplete or unclear, abstract art often aims to communicate in a different way, one that emphasizes perception, emotion, and interpretation over realism.
Museums play a significant role in how people understand and appreciate art. When artworks are displayed in a museum, they are presented within a specific context that influences how viewers interpret them. Lighting, placement, and even the order in which artworks are shown can affect the overall experience. For instance, a painting displayed alongside works from the same historical period may encourage viewers to notice stylistic similarities. In contrast, placing the same painting next to modern works might highlight its differences. Museums also provide labels and descriptions that guide interpretation by explaining an artwork's background, technique, or cultural significance. Beyond education, museums shape public taste by deciding which artworks deserve attention. Artists included in major museum collections often gain greater recognition, while others remain relatively unknown. This selection process can influence art history itself, as future generations tend to study what museums preserve. Therefore, museums are not neutral spaces. They actively shape how art is seen, understood, and valued, making them powerful institutions within the art world.
Art often reflects the social conditions in which it is created. Artists are influenced by political events, economic changes, and cultural values, even when they do not consciously intend to comment on society. As a result, artworks can provide valuable insight into the concerns and beliefs of a particular time period. For example, during periods of social unrest, artists may create works that express tension, uncertainty, or protest. In contrast, times of economic growth may inspire art that emphasizes optimism or stability. These patterns allow historians to study art as a form of historical evidence. However, it's important to note that art does not simply mirror society. Artists also interpret and respond to their surroundings in personal ways. Two artists living in the same city during the same period may produce very different works, depending on their experiences and perspectives. In this sense, art functions both as a social document and as an individual expression. Understanding this dual role helps viewers appreciate art not only for its aesthetic qualities, but also for what it reveals about human experience.